Hi, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Sip and Chat, number 3, season 2. That's right. So tonight we are discussing, I had a laugh about this one, open relationships, boy. That's the conversation tonight. Are you intrigued by something like that? Are you willing to partake in such a relationship? Yeah? No? Why? Let's know. Just in case we're not too sure what an open relationship is, for clarity, it's as simple as I can put it. When you are not committed to one person, you have other partners that you involved with intimately, and everybody knows that they are not like the unique person. So everybody's aware that, okay, I'm not solely committed to him, he's not solely committed to me. I think that could lead to trouble, but I'll give all my point of view on that later. Let's start with Vaughn tonight. Vaughn, good night. What's your view on this whole open relationship thing, boy?
Why starting with me, boy?
Well,
I think it's about exclusivity, and from what I understand, it has a lot to do with monogamy, which I think in this time, a lot of people finding it difficult. They finding a lot of excuses, or I don't want to say excuses, but reasons, scientific reasons to say that we are not monogamous by biology or whatever means. So a lot of people exploring it. My view is I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I have considered it in the past. I don't know if I'll consider it in the future. It's something that you really have to look and think. It's not about your ego. You have to get past that right through, because you have to realize that a lot of people looking for somebody to be the be all and end all. And most of the time, that one person can't fulfill every single need that you may have. So I think a lot of people looking for it outside, And some people might say once they get home, they in an open relationship, but I don't know.
All right, so I'll give all my view on it, right? So since it's the icebreaker and somebody gave their point, I think my whole take on this thing, boy, is the falling in love part, because you can't tell me that you're intimate with somebody and you're not going to build and create feelings towards that person. Like, I don't think that's natural. At least I had to talk on my part. I don't think that's natural to be with a person and not have some kind of feelings for them. Like, Chef, talk to me.
No, well, as you say, feelings there, I don't think feelings is the issue, I think that's expected. You must have feelings for your partner.
Yeah.
Right? So feelings is part and parcel of it. I think Vaughn did it well when he mentioned the word ego, because that's the biggest issue I think men face in those kind of relationships. But if you as a man going into an open relationship, and the men are a little greedy, so more than likely, open relationship, he may be the one taking advantage of it. But I don't have much experience with it, but I've heard about it, and I saw a movie recently where a couple was in an open relationship, man and woman. But the thing is, somehow in an open relationship, you still have to be faithful. It sounds like a oxymoron, but you're not allowed to just be wild with it. Apparently, your partner's supposed to know who your other partners are.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of people consider cheating would be like not knowing. So as long as they know, as long as it has no secrets, and they know, okay, I'm going by this one tonight, and I'm spending the night there or something like that. Once they know, I think that is where people have a comfortability with that. But when they don't know, when it has secrets, I think they just consider that more or less you're crossing a line, you're cheating it.
Right. So you're faithful basically to the persons you're involved with. And in this timing with STDs and STIs, it only makes sense that, you keep your circle I don't want to say small, but you keep your circle as your circle. You don't go outside your circle then.
You see, Chef, touch on that point there. You see, you bring up that STDs and that STIs thing, brother. And that is what have me, because while I find an open relationship sounds nice, because I mean, I say, I'm a man, I love sex. Me ain't gonna lie about that. But you see where STDs and STIs comes in, that draws the line for me, because I afraid that. I don't play with that. I ain't taking a chance with that. So I kind of refrain from going into it. I mean, I was approached by a partner before to enter into a threesome per se, and I didn't like the idea of that because of a STI or STD. Condoms don't prevent everything. I think we all know this. Condoms prevent certain things. So it wasn't.
But Rusty, if everybody tested and everybody clean and things like that, everything, say you know the person, everybody go and get tested and whatever, or your partner bring the test results, who they with, and everything clean and you ain't seeing nothing.
If I was still
you consider?
I don't think so now, because people are lying now. People are lying.
So Rusty, they went and get fake test results?
No,
Don't do that now.
What I mean is the fact that somebody may say that might be a result from a couple weeks ago, but you don't know what happened within the next couple of days. I mean, a test could only pick up so much information. You know, it's not accurate all the time to pick up. How to say it, boy? If you do a test today for today, and I do something tomorrow with somebody else and I get a STI or STD, that result wouldn't show it.
But then that brings in a bigger issue though, Rusty, because from what I understand so far in our discussion is that you have to be honest with that person or group of people that you're with in an open relationship. Thus meaning that if it is you're not honest with them, then you're breaching the whole idea of that, you know, friendship relationship thing. So
the intimacy. Different.
Yeah, what's that?
That's why I fear it, because I think people tend to do that a lot. They break rules. We break a lot of rules. So I don't think I'm willing to go down that road. As I say, as much as I like the concept, it sounds nice in my head. It definitely does, having multiple partners, because as I don't remember who said it, but I think it was Vaughn. Sometimes I may not get all the needs met by one person, so you may get it by another person. So it sounds nice, but because of people breaking rules, I don't think it's for me.
But Rusty, I think that a threesome is not necessarily an open relationship, because there are people in open relationships who don't have threesomes. You know, they just have multiple partners. So in terms of that, what do you think is required per se for you to have an open relationship? You think what do you think would make you consider an open relationship? Or you ain't considering it at all? You write it off like monogamy straight through. You're loyal to your wife alone.
Right, true. Right, true. That's how it's working. That's how it's working. So if it didn't break, don't try to fix it. And I watch I picking up that and I run in with it. I ain't stopping.
Okay.
All right, so let's bring in Anthony in the conversation. Anthony is my partner. He's a loyally married gentleman. But I also want to hear his take on the whole thing. Anthony, what do you think is required to make something like a open relationship work?
All right, for an open relationship to work, you have to have a level of trust. You also have to have a level of honesty. In open relationships, especially where you have more than one partner concerned, at least to me, the partners should know one another, or at least you should know of one another. Additionally, you should know what, if partners have been tested for STDs, STIs, if those partners themselves have other partners, because then you actually
It's not just three people then. You might be excluding a bunch of other people.
Yeah, basically, you're turning one thing. So it's basically you, your partner, and your other partner. Or you, your partner, and your partner's other partner. If your partner's other partner has another partner, then it turns into like 4 people. Or probably as much as 6.
Yo, this is complicated, man.
It can be complicated.
So is it that we doing interviews before we start this whole open relationship thing? Everybody had to meet everybody. Let's have a barbecue. Let's have a barbecue and you invite all the parties involved.
Well, it comes just like dating, you know. You date somebody, you have to get to know them to realize if you want a relationship with them. So you have to date your other person now. If you want to have another person.
Wait. So Vaughn, what you're telling me, right? If I am with how she named, and I don't like how she named friend who she in an open relationship with, I can tell her not to go with him.
Well,
no,
I suppose you could.
No, the thing is, they've been saying that trust is a major issue, huh?
Yes, it is.
So we have to trust our partners or our partner to know that, to believe that what he or she is telling us is the truth, in that this is my partner, this is what he is about. You don't need to have to do any extensive interview or any interview at all. You know this is who this is, you know this is what you're dealing with. So that you're not exactly encroaching on somebody else's space, or you're snooping on somebody. This is your partner, this is your partner's partner. You trust that your partner has brought enough information to you so that you know that this is the relationship that exists and this is what the parameters and this is what you're comfortable with. What they are, you trust them enough to know that they're not going to put you in any position of compromise. It also requires a level of maturity as well for that trust to be cemented.
So then you're eliminating the process that me and you had to go on an interview to meet this person that you want to be with.
Exactly.
That trust would come in, and the maturity. You don't necessarily need to have a face-to-face with your wife. Well, I would say my wife, with the person that she wishes to have an open relationship with.
Correct.
Okay. Right. So I want to add one thing, Anthony, to that list of requirements. You can't be a jealous person, boy. You cannot be a jealous person if you want to do this open relationship thing. I have had some ex-girlfriends. People just pass and watch, and who's that? So forth. I mean, let's be honest here.
We are
our culture in the Caribbean, we tend to have this jealous streak where we want to date exclusively and you can't talk to this one. I'm not saying everybody, but a good portion of people, there's one exclusive rights to somebody. Both men and women, they just tell it, you can't talk to nobody, you can't go out to this one. You have to stop talking to friend and that kind of thing. That can't work at all.
That sounds like it borders on a toxic relationship when you're going down that road, everyone.
That toxic relationship.
Of course.
That kind of ownership kind of thing, there, way.
Correct.
You just mentioned something and it has me wondering, right? Do you all think that women, because Chef said men greedy, you know, we might tend to like multiple partners. In 2020, is that the same for women?
Well, I can't say, you know.
No, it's not? No? Okay. I'm just wondering if women feel as I would feel as open about being in a relationship like men, the same way a man might go. Okay, so would a woman come to a man with the idea of being in an open relationship the way a man would? Because I mean, really and truly, I think it is.
Yes. I feel yes, because in these times, women are more outspoken, more open, and they're willing to explore and try things that most men may not want to. Because I think, in my experience, women tend to be less jealous than men. And
Really? I need to meet these ladies.
That's his experience.
they're more willing to embrace certain things, more willing to embrace openness, and they're more willing to embrace different aspects of their sexuality more than men. They're more explorative in that aspect. They mightn't live by it and say, okay, this is how I'm going down the rest of my life, but they're more willing to try than men, I believe.
Okay, all right. Okay, I need to meet some of these ladies.
I think we are talking about the independent ladies in one of the previous episodes, and I think that extends itself into this topic as well. I mean, the ladies nowadays, as we say, they have their own jobs, making their own money, driving their own car. And I'm not saying this has been my experience, but the ladies nowadays will tell you straight, you know, they don't necessarily need the marriage or the commitment. They just, you know, need a buddy, a partner, a companion. And as Vaughn rightly said, I think they open just as much as the men, if not more, to these kind of relationships.
Okay, so are open relationships more just about sex? Is that the whole?
I don't think so. I think it's about fulfilling a need that you may not get. So some form of intimacy. Maybe your partner does work a lot, or they are workaholic, or maybe they just don't have time to fulfill a particular need that you need, and you're willing to explore that, or they willing to let you explore it. And they say, well, I love you, but I really can't do this 5 nights a week. I really can't do this every night. You know, you could go out on one night or something like that. You know, it's about exploring what would work for you, because every relationship is different. So what the partners discuss and could work for them is about exploring that.
I don't know. You really think so? Okay. I don't think I agree with everything that you just said. Because then you might end up having a partner for everything that partner that you have doesn't provide. So then you probably have a partner for money. You might have a partner for sex. You might have a partner to drive you around. You have a partner to fix the stove.
There's a possibility. And it have some people who does live like that. I'm almost sure you know somebody who probably live like that. At least one person.
Yeah, but then that would not be an open relationship.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody using people.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like. You know, and the basis of a relationship, when you get into a relationship, at the end of the day, the thing is that if there are things that one person is weak in, you either come together and try to strengthen that and work to a middle ground where there's compromise. So that is exclusivity there. You know, this whole open relationship thing doesn't sound like you get that deep into it. I don't know how anybody else feels. That's why I think, you know, this, to me, open relationships sound like shallow. You know, it's just like a basic need that you need to get fixed. Everybody knows who everybody is. Everybody know their position, their role, and you know.
I don't think it necessarily is shallow. I think I guess it, as I said, it depends on the person, depends on the need. Some people, it might be a way of life. Some people, they might just be like, okay, I can't stay committed to one person. I need to talk to somebody else. I need to talk about certain things that I can't talk to this person about. It might be work, or it might be business, or something that they can't relate to. And it's not necessarily about sex. So in talking to them, you build a sort of intimacy and a relationship with them, and you get close to them in a particular way that forms a relationship where it may not even be sexual. It may not have sex at all, but they have a level of intimacy that you don't have with your main partner.
So I guess that type of person would be somebody that doesn't really adhere to society's rules. Because, society states that, you be with one person and that's the person you get married to, that's the person you with for the rest of your life. So I guess the people that would consider an open relationship are the ones that, as I said, they don't adhere to the concept of society's rules, that box that we like to put people in, get married by 35, have one partner, 2 children. So let's discuss the benefits of such a relationship. What do you all see as being some of the things that you can benefit?
Well, before, marriage used to be mainly about, if you research, marriage used to be mainly about financial gain, and people used to have organized marriages to have successful bloodlines and so forth, where it wasn't necessarily about monogamy and love. So we have a lot of people who feel as though they can't be with one person alone, or they may feel trapped in a particular way. So I think Chef could elaborate more, and let's hear some of his views.
Well, boy, to be honest, I watching this thing here and I realize, like, the married men free to talk, The married men free this thing go viral as Los Gents videos go viral, and they had to answer some hard questions to the wife. Probably we could just act now, fellas. Rossi, Beach, or we could act the role. No, but I've seen in these open relationships, we're discussing what the benefits, right? I think Vaughn was alluding to it in terms of the intimacy, right? Okay, so it's not always only a sexual relationship. Some of these women or men, they find that they have another partner that understands them emotionally, is a comforting voice, a comforting person, gives good advice, maybe a good business partner, and something builds in doing business with them, that kind of thing.
A form of stability then.
Say that again, Russ?
A form of stability. One of the benefits, it gives stability on a all-round basis. As we were saying, sometimes one partner may not meet the needs. So you're getting your needs met by different partners, 1 or 2 partners. So everything seems to be working like clockwork for you. You're happy. I think that would be one of the main benefits. You're happy.
I think one of the to me, if I had to live that type of lifestyle, one of the benefits is how do they say it? You get the milk without buying the cow. Is that it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you get all the benefits of a relationship without the commitment. All the thing, yeah.
We can't say without the commitment. Remember, you are committed to your partner.
To 2 people now. So like double commitment, maybe. You don't know.
No, I say the commitment. I mean the having the loyalty. Okay, so question: do people in open relationships, like, Chef, when you reach to work, you have to call your wife, hey, I reach home, or I reach to work, and lunchtime you take a call, how you going, how them children going? People in open relationships have to make that kind of contact?
Boy, you're asking the wrong people I feel it.
But you said you were willing to try it. So okay, so if it is you in an open relationship,
so I don't know.
No. Okay, so if you were in an open relationship, is that the kind of relationship you would want, where you have to check in with these, let's say 3 or 4 ladies every day, and let them know that you're okay? Is that how it works, or is that how you would want it to work?
I am not sure. I could speak for me. I don't know. As I say, I was at a point where I was willing to try. At this point, I'm not sure if I could keep up, because it may seem like everybody may want a check-in, but you do not know. Sometimes one person may not need a check-in every morning. Sometimes it may just be one person say, okay, let me know when you reach to work. And the other person might say, well, I don't need to know. I don't need to know that you reached the work. Just message me at the end of the day how your day was, and
so it's
and
just mutual. It's mutual independence then. It's mutual independence. It just it's like well, but when I need you, I will call you.
Yes, it could be like that.
And that's something that you could see yourself being involved in.
I say I think about it. I thought about it. I don't know if
I find like you're pulling back.
Based on what one said.
You're running. It's something like you're running from the entanglement.
Yeah.
You see, the other thing too is that it also removes the need to hide. So you don't have to sneak around, or you don't have to feel as if you're hiding something from your partner. It also removes the need to check in because of any kind of insecurities as well.
Good point, Anthony.
Where I hear and everybody saying that for something like for an open relationship to work, communication really is key, because you need to discuss a lot of different factors. Because as one say, somebody may want to check in and the other partner may not. So you would need to know who would want to check in and who would not, because at the end of the day, everybody needs to be happy. You want everybody to be happy. Nobody want to go into any type of relationship that has problems. Who knows, they might be checking in with the wrong person and that will cause a problem. So you really need to communicate. It shows, based on what we are saying here, it shows that communication really is key for this kind of thing to work.
Communication.
I find it's so much a responsibility though. All these names to remember, I don't know. I probably I'm just not made up that way to be the kind of person to be.
It have certain men who consider themselves open. It has certain people, women too, where they talking to 4 or 5 different people at the same time. Have a bunch of people interested in them, and you think it might be you alone, but they talking to all kind of people. They talking to different people, trying to get different things from each one of them. To decide what's going on, and you might think it's you alone, but.
So what happens if it is you decide that you don't want to live that life anymore, and you now want to commit to one person? So you had to have a meeting with all these people and let them know, hey, you're done with this.
Well, it comes just like what Russell said. It's communication. You communicate. It's just like any other relationship. If you decide that you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, it's not working out.
I have a question. So you have a main partner, right? You have a wife, you're married, and you guys both decide to go into an open relationship. What happens if you decide you don't want to be in an open relationship anymore, but your partner wishes to continue it? How do you think you will deal with something like this?
That sounds like an entanglement. I guess it will take a lot of communication to work through that. You might have to probably sit around a red table and have a conversation with some psychologists in terms of getting in terms of getting through something of this sort.
I feel that would be difficult. I really feel that would be a difficult part, that one person would want it and the other person don't.
I don't think that could work.
Lead to some problems.
So you can see that as cause for separation.
Yeah, for sure.
I really think it could.
Yeah, it could. But in any relationship or marriage, at some point there's something that somebody wants and the other person might disagree with. So it's about communicating and maybe coming to a compromise and discussing how to move forward. But it could lead to separation.
So that sounds like a drawback. What is probably one of the other drawbacks that you would have where an open relationship is concerned?
I think time is a big factor. Time sharing, because you more or less have to split your time between with more than one person, be it 2 or 3 or whatever.
So how do you pick? It's Friday night, right? And Lucy wants to go out with you, but Suzanne call and say, she need your time. How you doing that?
Boy, that's a good question. And as Rusty said, communication.
You know.
You never know.
I think Susan and Lucy gotta make the same spin and somehow that had to work out.
Rusty, how?
I don't know because I may not be able to pick. I don't know how I will be unless I throw the names in a bag and I shake it up and I draw one. I think that might be the best way to go about it.
Oh gosh.
It would matter, or what may determine is which relationship seems like the primary. Like, depending on if you have a primary and a secondary relationship, the primary may take precedence, depending on the type of open relationship you might have with your partner. So the secondary may be like, okay, we're supposed to hang out tonight, but if the primary call and say, okay, I need this, emergency, whatever, secondary might have to say, okay, well, they understand and they have to take a back seat.
You know what I'm saying there again, Vaughn? Communication again, because all you go have to discuss things like this in the earlies. You definitely had to discuss something like that.
And they discuss all of that before.
All right, so I guess it's safe to say that we not willing to try open relationships. Vaughn started off with the possibility, and by midway in the conversation, he was like, I don't know, maybe not. And then by the time we were almost ready to wrap up, and he's like, nah, I don't think. All right, so I guess after discussing this, we've come to the conclusion.
I thought about it, but
right,
you know, I would have to discuss some more. As Rusty said, lots of communication, and then the decision to be made.
Chef, I ain't hearing you tonight, boy.
Boy, I trying to think all kind of things. I know. I feel as a married man.
I know, Chef is a married man.
I had to research this topic before I jump in.
Married man, real quiet, boy.
Yeah. But a good partner say, when you're in an open relationship, it might start in January, but you have to be strong enough to face the challenges that may come in August.
Well, boy, plenty willpower, boy. Plenty willpower.
But one thing I noticed you all kept saying, and I'm not sure it's correct, about your partner's partner. I don't think your partner's partner has anything to do with your relationship with your partner. You know? Are you let's use Bond's example with the primary and the secondary. I am with primary. I'm in an open relationship, so okay, I could see secondary and tertiary. If primary has secondary and tertiary as well, he or she doesn't have to tell me about what they do. I mean, yeah, we're keeping it safe, we're keeping it within us and whatnot. But I mean, what they do with their partner is what they do with their partner.
Well,
I don't think they need to report to me. If we open them. You know?
Yeah, that's their business. That's their business.
It has to have a level of trust. So once you trust your primary partner, that what they're doing on the outside is according to your standard or you comfortable with, then I guess you let them more or less be free to roam.
Yeah, unless that partner is a part of the relationship in a polyamorous setting, then the dynamics are much different.
Yeah, well, I think polyamory is a different thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, this conversation was enlightening. I learned a lot tonight. I also realized that we are men that are not willing to go down that road.
We can continue discussion. We can continue discussion in the future. Explore it more.
Yeah, I mean, time changes, people change, and maybe we could revisit it at some point in time and see, if anybody's minds change where the topic is concerned. So, thanks everybody for coming in. Chef, you ain't really say much tonight. We talked about children last week and it was all up in that, but tonight was a different topic. You stayed away from the whole idea of open relationships. I can understand why, right? But let me know how you feel and wrap it up for us now.
All right. No, well, I mean, to each their own, but going into an open relationship, I think you really need to know what you're getting into, right? To summarize what we discussed, and I think we're all on the same page with that. It's not you just wild and do it where you want out there. You and your partner have a discussion. I guess everybody tested and safe. There is some degree of faithfulness within it, right? As I say, you're not wild with it. You have to keep your partner safe as well. And communication is key, right? But this is definitely interesting. Next time, I think when you all give me the topic, especially one like this, I'll do a little research now, boy. Before
I don't feel the research is the issue. That is not the issue. Don't put no plaster on that, so.
Well, we see clearly what the issue is. We see clearly what the issue is with these married men in the relationship.
To come and discuss with us and give us some more insight.
We'll definitely discuss this further. But guys, in the meantime, we want to hear what you all have to say. Like, follow, share the content, and of course, we love to read your comments. We love to hear what you think. Could you go in an entire open relationship? Do you think it have what it takes? Well, you all tell us. We'll be looking forward to your feedback.